Many students seem to have troubles figuring out a linear equation when they're not given b and they have to actually figure it out. So let's work through a few examples to see if we can set you straight so that you understand how to do that. Alright, let's take a look at a specific example. Alright, so let's say we are told that we are given a line that goes through 3, 5. Here's the point 3, 5. This is a point 3, 5, x, y, and has a slope of rise over run. The ratio here, the fraction, is 1/3. The slope is 1/3. So on the graph here, that would look something like this. That would be up 1 from there over 3. Up 1 over 3. And this is just a very rough drawing. So you can see here that we don't know where it hits the x-axis. We have no idea. So we have to figure that out. Because after all, when we write a linear equation, one way that we can write it is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, okay, and b is the y-intercept. So in the corner here, let's write our answer so far. We know the answer is the machine. Y equals 1/3 x, but then the plus b is the thing that we do not know. We do not know the plus b. We have to solve for it. Okay, so we have to figure it out. A lot of students seem to think it's 5, and it's not. You see, this line does not hit the y-axis at 5. So what we have to do is solve for it. Let me show you how. It's real simple. You just have to do a few problems and you'll get it. We write y equals mx plus b on our paper, and then we put in what we know. The y value 5, this is the y value there, is equal to 1/3, that's the slope, or the m, times the x value. See, here's the x value. This is a point, and it gives you an x and y value that must be true. After all, this graph is a table of values, let me remind you, and when 3 goes in, they tell us 5 needs to come out. So we're going to figure out the b to make that happen. Y equals mx plus b. So 1/3 times 3 is 1. We have to do the arithmetic now. Subtract 1 on both sides. This is called solving an equation. And we see that b is 4. We have just solved for the y-intercept, and it turns out that it hits the y-axis at b equals 4. b equals 4. So I'm going to put plus 4 here. And there's our answer. Our answer is the entire thing that's in this box. It was not 1/3 x plus 5. It does not have numbers here or here. Okay, it has an x and a y because it needs to be a linear function. It needs to be a machine. Alright, let's take a look at another example. We'll go a little quicker on the next one. Alright, here we're given an example. We're given a line. They're telling us we have a linear function. We just don't know what it is. But the linear function has a slope of -1/4, and it goes through an xy point. This is called an ordered pair, people, not a slope, of -8. So this is a dot on a graph. This is the slope. This is the up and over. This is the rise over run. Alright, now the way we do this, here's all we have to do is we write y equals mx plus b on our paper. Y equals mx plus b on our paper. We then fill in what we know. We have a table of values going on behind the scenes, and when -8 goes in, 4 needs to come out. So 4 needs to come out when -8 goes in. Now, slope has been told to us as being -1/4. -1/4 plus b. -1/4 plus b. Alright. So we do this arithmetic now. Multiplying by 1/4 is the same as dividing by 4. Negative times a negative is a positive, so we get 2 here. Subtract 2 on both sides. b is 2. Alright, we're now ready to write our final answer, actually. It was that easy. Y equals something x plus something. That's first something has to be the slope, And the last something has to be the y-intercept, or that we call it the b value. The slope was given to us. It's negative 1/4, so we fill that in. And we just figured out the y-intercept of this graph is 2. It was not 4. It was not negative 8. We had to figure it out, and it was 2. All right, let's look at one more example, and I'm going to actually give you a little time to do it on your own, and then I'll go over it. Okay, on some scratch paper, I want you to do the following problem. Given a line with a slope of 3, so that's up 3 over 1 is the slope here. This line apparently goes through 2, 4. Okay. I want you to draw a graph and then also figure out the linear function in mx+b form for that graph. So you're going to have to solve for b. All right, so go ahead and pause the video now and give it a try, and then watch the solution and see how you did. All right, let's first do the graph. I plotted the point 2, 4 here. You see that's go over 2, up 4, put a dot. That's the point 2, comma 4. Slope is different. It's not something, comma something. It is a ratio. It's a fraction. This is rise over run, so that's going to get us our second point. Our second point is going to be up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1 from this first point. So we go up 3 over 1 and we put a dot right there, and we can draw our line. Now it looks like, you know, the y-intercept is down here somewhere, but we're going to figure it out. Let's take a look and figure out exactly where it hits. We're going to plug in the slope of m. We're going to plug in the x. We're going to plug in the y. This is 6. Apparently, the y-intercept is at negative 2. Negative 2. And that looks exactly right. So our final answer is y equals 3x minus 2. Y equals 3x minus 2. That's called a linear function in slope-intercept form. You have to have an x and a y in your answer because it needs to be a machine, you know, something that you could generate a table of values with. All right, good luck on your assignment.